Most people are working incredibly hard, but they're absolutely going nowhere. And the reason is they're not lazy. It's not because they're not talented. It's because they're playing a game they just don't understand. Today, I'm going to show you a framework that changed the way I see every single business, from the cafe down the street to the billion-dollar enterprise. And by the end of this video, you're never going to look at money the same. And a secret, I'm going to tell you how everything is an investment. So stay to the end. There's a teacher named Myron Golden who breaks down value creation into a framework, the 4 levels of value. And I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to look at business. Okay, so here are the 4 levels of value. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 levels of value. So down the bottom is implementation. All right, implementation. And what we do on this level is this is the lowest level of value, and this is where you use your muscles over time. That's a clock, by the way, to make money, right? So most people down here, they're doing the thing. They're the one cutting the hair. They're the one driving the truck. They're the one implementing. They're doing the actual task. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I want to jump into the next section, which is about the 4 businesses. Okay, the next level, and I've taught on this before, is delegation. And this is essentially where you use your management skills to earn money, right? You're delegating, you're showing the implementer what they're supposed to do. So you're the one delegating. So you have more, you're creating more value because you're not the one doing the work. You're not the one flipping the burger. You're not the one cutting the hair. You're not the one cleaning the room. You're the manager at the hotel. That's delegating the work using delegation and automation to make sure that the work's getting done, if that makes sense. Now, above this dotted line is where the real wealth starts to get created. So the next level above delegation is communication. And this is where you use your mouth to make money, right? Up here, you're going to find singers, right? They write a song and it can be played hundreds and thousands of times. They can make money. You're going to find authors. They write a book. They write a screenplay. They write a movie, and it gets sold hundreds of thousands of times. And you're thinking, well, that's not me. I'm not a musician. I'm not a. But it also can be sales, right? Anyone in sales is using their communication, their voice, their mouth, to communicate a message that can move the masses. Now, there's 2 caveats. You have to have a mouth. So let me know on YouTube who has a mouth. Yes. And you have to learn how to use it. Now, that's, people think, oh, I've got a mouth. I definitely know how to use it. You know, there's a lot of people that talk rubbish, and they can talk all day long or talk underwater, but they're not actually communicating. They're not actually changing anything. Just jump down here. You're probably earning anywhere from minimum wage here in the implementation, probably up to maybe $80,000, right? Because you're doing the thing. If you're a mechanic at Mercedes or something like that, you may be earning, that. Delegation, you might be earning, if you're the manager at McDonald's, you're delegating. You might be a young manager. You might be earning $50,000, but you might be earning all the way up to who knows, $250,000 if you're a middle manager. If you're on a C-suite management level, you're still delegating, but you're doing it at a great level. Here on the communication level, you're probably starting out at, if you're in sales, if you're selling a car, selling real estate, selling something significant, not just shoes, you're probably starting out at probably like $100,000. And the top end, who knows, tens of millions, right? Because if you're selling books, or you're a songwriter and you're selling hundreds of thousands of albums, you're probably earning that. But the good thing about sales is you can learn that skill and you can develop it. The top level up here is imagination, and this is probably I don't know, maybe start at $1 million and goes, upwards. And here you're using your mind. You're using your mind to create money. So I hope that makes sense. I've gone pretty quickly through that, but I just wanted to give you a foundation of where the value creation comes from. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is business. So we understand where the 4 levels of value come from and how you can do them. And you might go, you might be doing all of them, but you're probably doing one of them. Let me know in the comments, where do you majority get your income from? Are you implementing? Are you delegating? Are you communicating? Or are you in imagination? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not to say you're good or bad, but think about it. Think about where you want to get your value creation from. I'm using this as communication. I'm developing my communication to communicate a message to move the masses. So this is an example of me using my communication, my voice, my mouth to move the masses. Okay, so that was from Myron Golden. This is from Robert Kiyosaki. So most of us have a job, a job, right? And this is where we get most of our income from. You go to work, you get paid, clock in, clock off, you do the work and you get paid. You're transferring your time for money, right? The challenge here, if this is your only source of income, is we only have a limited amount of time. So even if you're trading $100, $200, $300, $1,000, $5,000 an hour, we only have a little limited amount of hours a day. We all have the same, and so it's difficult to earn large quantities of income if you're just having a job, so working for someone else. You're constantly trading time for hours, and once you quit, once you stop working, your income will dry up. So that's the first one. So this is trading your time for money. Okay, the next one is a small business. Small business. Okay, so this one is, a lot of people trade. They go and they do their job. They go and they work and they think, I'm good enough at this job. I don't need a boss. I can go and do this thing and be my own boss. I've learned the skills. I've built up a network. I've got that skill where I can now don't have to report to someone. I can report to myself and I can go out in the marketplace. So or they go in and buy a small business. The real delineation between this one and the next one is, are you the only one doing the thing? Can you leave? Can you leave for 6 months plus, and the business is still growing? The business is still thriving? Or do you need to be in their day? You're the chief, the cook, and the bottle wash. You're the one doing the timesheets, and you're the one doing payroll, and you're the one doing HR, and you're the one doing occupational health and safety, and you're the one doing quality and safeguards, and you're the one, like, if you know what I mean. If you're in a small business and you're doing all that, that's awesome, but you're capped, you're limited. The next one is big business. Right? Big business. And this is really answering this question here, is I can leave. I build up so this is you're doing the system, you're working in the system. Over here, you're developing a system. Over here, you own the system. Own the system. Right? And I can leave. Right? I can leave for 6 months, 12 months plus, and come back, and my business is still thriving. I don't have to be in it like I'm over here in my small business. I don't have to be in it every day, and it can still thrive. I can leave it. I can forget about it. So I think of, and then the last one is investor. All right? And this person is putting money into the system. So I'll give you a couple of examples. This will help unpack it. So I'm a job. I'm the one working at McDonald's, right? I'm the one flipping the burgers. I'm the one at the cash register. I'm the teacher at the school. I'm actually the one doing the thing. A small business owner, maybe they're a tradie. They've learnt their skill as a trade, and now they've gone out on their own, and they're doing the trade. So I've learnt my job. I'm a plumber. I've gone out and built my business, my small business, and now I'm a plumber. But I'm in there every day, and I can't leave the workmen alone. I have to do payroll. I can't go away for more than a week or two because the whole place is going to fall apart and it's going to stop working. So I'm stuck in the small business, and I can't scale. I can't get out of that. A big business is I'm not working anymore. I purchased a business system, which is I purchased a franchise. Maybe I purchased McDonald's. I purchased Subway, and I own the business system. So I get all the tools, I get all the resources. I'm working in the business, but then I have a business system, and I put a manager in place where I can step away. I can go away for 3 months on holidays, and the business is still going to thrive and grow. It doesn't rely on me to be in there. And then an investor is investing in. They can actually invest in all levels, but usually they're investing in the big business. All right. So they actually, I put it here, but they can actually invest in this one, and they can invest in this one. And an investor, they're putting money into the system. They're saying, this is a great business system. I'm going to purchase a part of Apple because I understand that Apple Corporation is a great big corporation. They're achieving lots of goals, and I'm going to put money into that system because I believe that system can get my money and actually do better with it. So here's a thought, and this is what I touched on earlier. Everything is an investment. So, and that's a bit of a crazy thought. So if you think about it, everything you see in your house, everything you see in the community is someone's investment, right? It is someone's investment. They thought, I'm going to put money into that business idea, that business system, and I want it to grow. I want to get a return from it. So think about it. The reflectors on the road, right? Someone had to think, I'm going to build a business system, a business, maybe it's a small business or big business system, and I'm going to create these reflectors and stick them on the road, right? And so they had to raise some capital. The investor might have been the business owner themselves. It might have been their own sweat off their own back, pocket out of their own savings, right? But they invested in it. The glue that stuck it to the tarmac, the cars. Everyone thinks, oh, you can think big corporations, the cars, the Apples and the Microsofts and the big companies. But what about all the little ones? What about the tea you drink? What about the coffee mug you drinking your coffee out of? Someone actually invested in that and thought this is a good business idea. Whether it succeeded or not, that is only to be seen through time, right? But everything you purchase is someone's investment. The seat you sit on, the clothes I'm wearing, right? Whether they're branded or not, doesn't matter. It's someone's investment. And if you actually start to look at the world that way, you can actually see that, it's pretty incredible. So hopefully through this, you can see how value is created through implementation, delegation, communication, and imagination. And then through that, you can see the different business systems. You've got a job, you've got a small business, a big business, an investor. and how that all relates. And hopefully when you look at that, you can look throughout the lens of your life and look at through the world and go, wow, that is a big business. I can see how that corporation works. Although that's a small business, and that potentially is capped. If I own a cafe, one cafe down the street, and I'm the chief cook and bottle wash, it's capped of how much income I can come in, because I can only sell a cup of coffee for so much profit. I can't sell it for $1 million, right? No one's going to buy it. And it's only going to be limited to how many customers that can walk past, or how many customers I can drive to that. But if I have an online business, if I have a product that can be scaled and distributed worldwide, that opens up the doors for me. So now you can ask yourself, is the owner working the counter every day, or do they own a business system? Are they level 2 small business who's trapped, or are they building towards a level 3 business, a big business? Do they have investors behind them? Do they have capital? Looking at the big franchises down the road, they're big business. They're funded through investors. The worker is at level 1. They're doing the work. The manager is maybe level 2. They're the one delegation. The franchisee, they're the one communicating, and the business system, the parent company, they're the shareholders, and they're the ones with the imagination. They created the franchise, right? You can see how it all starts to work together. So the question I want to leave with you is not where are you now, but where do you want to create value in the marketplace? Because most people never ask that question. They just think, I've been a barista for 5 years, so I'll start my own cafe. That's good. I'm not saying that's bad, but it's, well, now you understand some of the frameworks and some of the thinking. Where do you want to create value in the marketplace, and how is it limited? So hopefully by watching this video, you can already start thinking differently and seeing the world differently. Pick a level, build toward it intentionally, and remember, every level is built upon the last one. You can't just skip one. You can't just go from level 1 to level 4. You can't just go from job to straight to investor. You need to climb over slowly. So if this framework starts to help you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop the comment below about what level you are, 1, 2, 3, 4, about creating value. And also, where are you creating your business? Where do you want to create your business? Are you at a small business? Are you at a job? Are you an investor, or you're a big business? Have a think about it. Start to analyze businesses. Whereas you walk down the street, cafe, what is it? Corporation, what is it? Are they working in it? Start thinking about it. Start expanding the way you look at business, seeing everything as an investment. It's someone's investment, whether it's their time, their money, their energy, their effort, or they're actually putting big capital behind it. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope this video finds you helpful around what type of business you want to build. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.